Hello, Cherries fans, and welcome back to another watch along here on the Cherries Red Army YouTube channel. It is Saturday, the 9th of December. It's Bournemouth away at Manchester United, the famous Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, where Bournemouth have failed to do anything better than pick up one draw in their entire Premier League history. But there is a feeling that things might change this time around. Manchester United may be one of the form teams in the country on paper, but Bournemouth are exactly the same. I believe Bournemouth are joint third or third outright, possibly. Most informed team right now, and this should be a really interesting contest. Am I going to say that Bournemouth are definitely going to win? Absolutely not. But we do have a pretty good chance. I do think if there was ever going to be a game away at United where you go, Bournemouth have a decent chance of at least getting a point from this. I'm not going to say win, but at least getting a point. This is probably going to be the one. Please, all of you that are joining me, let me know in the comments that you're here. Say hi in the chat. Do ask me your questions. I'm here as a sounding board. I'm here to give you my opinion. But if you want something for me to talk about specifically, then go right ahead and ask me. That's what I'm here for. But while people are filtering in with about 15 minutes to go, let's bring up the starting lineups. I click that, and there it is by the magic of StreamYard. So let's go through the Bournemouth lineup first, obviously. So it's basically the same team. The only difference is that Tavernier is back in, so Sinistera gets dropped after producing an assist against Crystal Palace. And probably for his defensive work rate, I'd imagine Tavernier has been brought back in, which means this is the same team that got a 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. This is the same team that beat Sheffield United. Not that that's really much of a comparison, but it's sensible to not change a strong team and a winning team, though I do feel like, especially after Iraola's comments before the game yesterday, talking about some players being a bit tired, and the fact that we have played 3 games in a week, which is something that the teams like Man United are very much used to. But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this team. On the bench, we've got Travers, Mepham, Kilkenny, Rothwell, Billing, Brooks, Dango, Sinistera, and more. So no real changes there. I believe Traore wasn't involved against Palace because he was unwell. And Kilkenny stays on the bench in this game. Let's have a look at Man United's team. Man United seem to put out their teams in the same way that Bournemouth did a few years back, in number order, not caring about positions. So to get around that, I think we should probably just have a look at what SofaScore says. And I will bring that up now. Let's zoom in a bit so that make sure it's clear for everyone. So I believe this is a relatively unchanged, if not completely unchanged team from their victory over Chelsea. Obviously, Dallo, Maguire, Shaw, and Reguilon at the back. So Luke Shaw has performed really well at centre-back and has done over a couple of seasons. But you do feel like if Solanke is going to peel off onto one of the 2 centre-backs, it's going to be Luke Shaw that he's going to try and dominate in this game. Whether he will, we'll wait and see. But then into midfield, you've got Sophie and Amrabat and McTominay. Amrabat has gotten his spot back from Kobe Mino, who I do feel is a promising player, but still has a lot to work on, clearly. And Amrabat, they brought in for a reason. So we'll see how much he can control the game from back there. With Garnacho on the left, Fernandez in the 10 slot, and Anthony at right wing, and Anthony Martial taking the striking position, which means Højlund is once again on the bench. I believe Rashford is back on the bench. Got Wan-Bissaka, Johnny Evans, Rafael Varane is on the bench. Pelistri, Rashford there. Donny van de Beek, who I don't think he's even got a minute this season in the league. Kobe Mino and Rasmus Højlund. So, what are people thinking? It should be a good one. It should be entertaining. I'm looking forward to it. Let's just pop the starting lineups down there so that you can all have a look at it. Oh, I've typoed a full stop instead of a comma there after McTominay. That's going to annoy me, so I'm going to change it. Right. Let's see who's joining us. Hello, Andrew's live blog. We'll be listening to it off my mobile phone. Glad to hear you are going to be keeping in touch with this watch along. Ben, hello. Glad for you to join us again. Hello, see Bournemouth, Germany. Thank you, Kirk, for your comment. Let's absolutely go for it. Gladstone Garaka, hi guys, up the Cherries. Thank you very much for joining us. And AFC Bournemouth, generally good that Liverpool ended up winning against Crystal Palace. Yeah, to an extent. It certainly gives us a chance to possibly, well, if we get a point, we go above them. So there's that. But Bournemouth aren't in a false position per se, but 16th is just, for how well we've been recently, 16th just feels odd. Hello, Wayne Walden, our customary Fulham fan, joining on the Cherry side. Hey, John, I hope you're well. Bournemouth playing very good football. I think Bournemouth will get a point. 2-2 is kind of what I'm thinking. If we hadn't played Wednesday, I would go for sorry, Sean. There, me thinking it's another Wayne comment. Hello, Sean. If we hadn't played Wednesday, I would go for a win, but fitness is going to be an issue. I think Man U have such a better bench. I think it's going to be a difference. We do have a pretty good bench. I mean, just look at the difference between the two benches. If we look at midfield forward, okay, maybe Rothwell. If you compare, let's say, Van der Beek and Mainu versus Rothwell and Billing, that's an interesting debate as to which ones you'd take. Billing would certainly be my preference over those four. Pellistri is a young winger, isn't really got the. I don't think has got it in comparison to Sinistera. Dango's got real fitness as well as a great option. And then up front, you've got Rasmus Højlund or Kiefer Moore. I'd take Højlund there, I suppose. But I don't know. The benches aren't. I don't think the benches are that massively different. I think they are in defence, but David Brooks, of course, I didn't even mention as well. David Brooks could certainly give us something. Hello, Matthew Gale. You Reds, absolutely right. Okay, it's 10 minutes to go. Encouraged by Kirk, we've started doing these. We've started going live 10 minutes later because I think just talking on your own for just talking about the game for half an hour is not as necessary. Can just squeeze that into 20 minutes and build up to the game quicker. I suppose with 10 minutes to go, it's a time for people to start putting their predictions in. What do people feel? What are we thinking in terms of results? How happy would you be with a point? How delighted would you be with a win? How much expectation do you have that Bournemouth will get something from this game? Because as I mentioned when I set the stream live, there aren't many games that I would feel more confident in at this point in any season playing against Man United, going there and feeling like we could get something from this game. I mean, when you think about the one game we did get a point from, the famous Mings stamping on Ibrahimovic game, and that one was, heck, Boric saved a penalty in that one. Somehow Mings and Ibra didn't get sent off. The one that did was Andrew Sermon, of course. And even in that game, I don't think we were looking like we were going to get much from the game, and we didn't feel like we were before the match, from what I remember. Whereas this one, I don't think we'll dominate the game, but I think we've got the attributes and the ability in the players to really take advantage of any opportunities we get. And create plenty of opportunities. It's still the case. I forgot to have a look back, but I believe it's the case that no team across the last 4 game weeks have produced more shots on target than Bournemouth across the last 4 game weeks, I believe. There wasn't a lot against Palace, but those were against Sheffield United, Aston Villa, obviously Palace, and was it Newcastle was the other one? I don't know why my brain's just not quite working for me at the moment. This is Saturday. Bear with me. But yeah, let's have a look and see what people are putting. Ben, Wednesday isn't too bad. I read studies in 3 clear days is the ideal for recovery. So yes, ideal, but it's not terrible. Yeah, and I mean it's something that Iraola mentioned is like the Thursday morning he'll have got them in, but I don't think he would have been doing. It would have been a recovery session, and they would have been doing a lot of video work and showing up videos of what United will be like and what we can do. Hello, Donald. Depends what one United turn up. Yeah, absolutely. If it's the one that turned up against Chelsea, we'll struggle. If it's the one that's been turning up for most of this season, then we've got a good chance. Matt's going for a 2-2. Hello, Ollie. Nice of you to join us. Sean, head 2-1 loss, heart 2-1 win. All right, okay. There's a 2-goal swing between your head and your heart. That's fair enough. If people anything, I think it's our best chance ever to get a win in Old Trafford. How I think we'll end with in a draw 2-2. There's a lot of high-scoring games people are predicting. I don't mind that at all. Just reminding myself what our last 4 games. Yes, it was Newcastle, Sheffield United, Villa, and Palace. 5-6 minutes to go before kickoff. What are people's thoughts about how the game will go? It's when we were going up against Villa, I had a clear idea of maybe one of the ways we could take advantage of getting through them with some long balls, with trying to beat their high line. In the end, it didn't actually turn out anything like that. Against Newcastle, I called it pretty well that they were shattered, so they weren't going to press us very high, and that was exactly how it played out, and we were able to have a lot more control in that game than I expected. I was only able to see the first 40 minutes of Palace, so I don't know how a lot of that game went, but it didn't look like we were great. But the fact that we not only held on after scoring the first goal, scoring a goal from a corner, only our second of the season, or scoring a goal from set play, maybe I should say, in the league, and then not only holding out, but then obviously getting the win and getting a second goal. Yeah, I just don't know how. I do feel like McTominay is an issue when he gets forward and is able to try and get on the end of things. He's obviously scored 6 goals this season, so he's doing pretty well in the opposition penalty box. But in the midfield, he's energy. He's not much more. Amrabat I haven't seen enough of, so I don't know what that's going to be like. It was funny against Villa. I was really concerned that our midfield of Christian Cook wouldn't be able to hold their own as well as they did, versus what I expected to be quite a strong midfield in Douglas Luiz, Yuri Tielemans, Zaniolo dropping in, Bailey coming in from one side and McGinn coming in from the other. And Christie was a man on a mission in that game. He was unbelievable. Cook's obviously been fantastic as well. If Christian Cook can keep working their magic and really allow us to build attacks from stable positions in midfield, yeah, we've got a really good chance. I do think that Tavernier should have a pretty good game. Well, okay, so this is the one. Which side are Tavernier and Semenyo going to play on? Because they've swapped sides recently. We've seen Semenyo play off the right mostly, but he played off the left against Villa. I have a feeling we'll see Semenyo back on the right-hand side, because I really do feel like Semenyo could completely dominate Reguilon. I really do think Semenyo has been absolutely firing on all cylinders recently. Obviously, you didn't get to see much of him against Palace, but he's been so impressive. I already did that one. Ben, Sean, so are you tonsils 2-2 or 1-1? Watch the game in German Sky Sports, but I'll turn off the content. Oh, that's very kind of you. Sean, we were in control mainly, but a very workman performance, which is why I'm worried about it. Okay, that's fair enough. And Kirk is also going for a 2-2. A lot of 2-2s. It's all 2-2s and 2-1s. Like, no one thinks there's going to be less than 3 goals so far. That's quite something. Right. To go the players coming onto the pitch. I remind all of you that are watching this game, please, if a goal goes in where you're watching this from, I am almost inevitably going to be anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute behind you. There's a decent chance I will be. Might not be that long. It depends. if a goal goes in, I understand you want to type in goal and be hype about it in the chat, but until I've seen it, obviously you're spoiling it for people in the chat and for me. So I would greatly appreciate it if a goal goes in, you wait until I've seen it. I understand, instant reactions, that's fair enough. But just as a plea from me, if a goal goes in, just wait until I've seen it first. Right, Ben, I think Tab's on the left to cover Kirk as he's more defensive minded. Yeah, there's that. There's definitely that. I agree with you, Ben. Sean Brain tonsils felt halfway between head and. Yeah, I don't get that. Sean, remember the days not long ago we had no idea where goals would come from. Yeah, exactly. Very good, John. Thank you. Thank you for joining us once again, John, from across the pond. I will make sure I do, Ben. I have looked at trying to get a clock up on screen, but I've just struggled to get it working so far. So I just need to ask for some help on that, and we'll try and get one of those up soon for you. Right. My clock says 2:59. As I said, I'm probably not going to see the kickoff for another minute or so. So I will let you know when that happens. Please do, if you're sticking around and you haven't subscribed and you're interested in some Bournemouth content, please do hit the subscribe button. Really do appreciate it. And like this video, give it a thumbs up. It's just just helps us spread the word on the video and on the channel. We are over 1.9k. Kirk has updated this banner now. I believe I think we've hit 1.9k. Yeah, there it is. If Kirk has updated this banner correctly and we are over 1.9k, then there you are. Obviously, we would love to reach 2 by, heck, it'd be great as a Christmas present to reach 2, but that's not going to happen. But the sooner we reach 2, the better. But let me just put the team lineups on the bottom again for those of you that weren't here 10 minutes ago and are interested. Last few comments before kickoff. When I had Germany leading after the first. That's great. The manager's shaking hands. Iraola managed to banish a little bit of a hoodoo against Unai Emery in their last match. It's the first time he got any points off of him before facing him. I'm not sure whether I would be surprised if he's faced Ten Hag before. But of course, as many of you may have seen in some media outlets that have sort of, well, as was probably spoken about by Iraola as well in his pre-match press conference, he's been here before as a player and won. So you never know. That's just terrible from someone, whoever's unsubscribed. Hello, Gene. Just checking in. Hopeful the Cherries keep up the good run of good form games, but in Hawaii with family. So, I hope you enjoy your holiday. Sounds like I'm sure that'd be a lovely time. And that's kickoff. First ball is a long ball wildly out of play for a goal kick. So, thank you everyone for joining us. I hope this is a successful evening. It's not evening yet. It's the afternoon. It's because it's dark in here. Bournemouth pressing nice and early, as to be expected. Onana on the ball. You never know. We might pick up a goal like we did against Brighton. Nick it off the goalkeeper if he's not paying attention. Great work from Adam Smith to intercept the pass, but it doesn't quite work out. Oh, hello! There's a decent chance of a penalty here. Ooh, Solanke gets it. There's a pass back from Luke Shaw. Solanke gets there ahead of the goalkeeper. Solanke gets in, so it's definitely a goal kick. That's not. That's a dive. That's a dive from Solanke. From the first replay, that's definitely a dive. Oh, good to see. So this time Onana goes long. Martial wins the header, tries to flick on, but Smith gets in ahead of Garnacho, who manages to keep the ball. Fernandez pushes forward, plays it to Reguilon. But a loose pass gives the ball to Kluivert, who's looking for an opportunity to pass forward. It gets blocked, and Senesi's on the ball, who goes for the long ball to Semenyo, but easily blocked by Reguilon. Not the greatest ball forward. And it is 2:00, bang on the 2:00, 2 minutes. 2 minutes was what I was meant to say. There is my timer. Plenty of penalties, Ben, for me as well, please. Don't understand what players are with it. Yeah, it's one of those. Fernandez on the ball in the Bournemouth third. Trying pass forward. It gets to Reguilon, who cuts the ball back, and Senesi heads it away, but it falls to Dalot, who shoots first time into the ground, headed up and out, but it's still with Reguilon, headed out by Cook to Tavernier, who clears the ball out for a throw. That was, yeah, not the greatest there by Bournemouth defensively there. A little bit too easy to produce something, and some very ineffective clearances. Not great from Dalot, but just hits the ball down into the ground to get it away. Falls to Reguilon. Yeah, just had a load of numbers back. It was going to be difficult for Man United to score there, but yeah, not the greatest start. But that's a poor pass from Amrabat. Tavernier gets in the way. Ball falls to Solanke. It's intercepted by Maguire. Now Christie's on the ball. Nice pass to Kirkes. Back to Christie. So it's interesting there that instantly McTominay was trying to get on Cook. Oh, a long ball into nowhere. It's a nice idea of a long ball. If Tavernier had made the right run, then it's great. But Tavernier's just nowhere near making that run. Really unnecessary ball there. So Christie's pushing up to Amrabat to try and put on the pressure. Shaw's just overlapped as a centre-back. Great tackle from Kluivert, who's won the ball off him. Now Cook's on the ball. We need to push quickly because Shaw's out of position. Semenyo on the ball, beating off Fernandez, tries to go through Reguilon, but doesn't do so. Back heel from Fernandez to get the ball to Reguilon. Bit of a risky pass, but he's successful. And more risk. Cook's on the ball, crosses it wide. Solanke is in! Get in! 1-0! Bournemouth! Dominic Solanke yet again. Come on! Man United playing the ball out from the back, totally unnecessary. Lewis Cook nicks it in, gets to the byline, cuts it back, and what he does, what he could not do against Martinez and against Villa, he tucks it away very, very neatly. Less than 5 minutes gone. Less than 5 minutes. AFC Bournemouth are 1-0 in front. Come on! Oh, fantastic stuff. Beating off Fernandez. Did I say that, or was that the commentators, Ben? Great start. Absolutely brilliant start. Yeah, Man United passing the ball around from the back, messing things up and just not dealing with it. Great work from Kirkes there to win the ball off Dalot. Okay, to be fair, John, you did. I didn't know you had a time machine. Well, there you go. You should have put that bet on, shouldn't you? Yeah, he does. I mean, to be fair, he tends to like flicking it behind his standing leg, but he does like that finish as well. But yeah, great start. My fantasy team's looking good already. My fantasy team's looking really good already. I've got Solanke and Salah in, and Salah's already got goal and assist, captaining me to a bunch of points this on the early kickoff. Oh, that's a fantastic start. And it's something that we could all have anticipated, that Man United like to play the rule around from the back, and our press has been really effective recently. We are the best team in the league at scoring goal from high turnovers now. We were tied with City, and I want to say City and Arsenal we were tied with as the best team in the division at scoring goals from high turnovers. We are now outright the best in the division at doing that, with 6, I want to say, goals from high turnovers. Man United are on the charge. Decent tackle by Cook, but it falls to Man United again. It goes in behind to Reguilon, who tries to cut it back. Well intercepted by Senesi, and it's a corner kick. I kind of thought that might have been a corner. Reguilon, no, he's comfortably on. The only concern there was that's the second time one of our players has gone in for a tackle in our own third and just not taken the ball with them. Corner played short, swung in, but headed out wonderfully. And Tavernier is on the ball. He almost goes past. All he needs to do is make sure he kept the ball there and laid it off. And we had a 3-on-3 counter. But the ball is back in the box from Reguilon. High to Maguire. Maguire heads it. Good save from Neto. I'd expect him to make that save, but it is a good save. Yeah, decent ball in, but it's high and it's at Maguire against Kirkes. Total mismatch. And it's a decent header from Maguire. If he puts it further towards the back post, Neto's got no chance. But because he put it, corner comes in, headed out by Senesi, reaches Fernandez, who hooks it back in, but headed out by Christie. And now Anthony is letting that go out. Lovely, massive barge in the back. Make sure that Anthony goes flying, which is one to it's just one to accept. But yeah, Bournemouth have basically just really had one chance and scored from it. I did say Bournemouth were efficient against Palace, but I did say I think we've got it in us to make the most of the chances that we create. Martial's going into the box. Fernandez has a chance to turn, brings it back to Reguilon. Reguilon's looking for players in the box, passes it to Dalot, takes a touch and is cooked clear by Cook. Straight back to Amrabat. Now Maguire, who's looking for the long ball into the box towards Fernandez, who heads it down to Garnacho. Well dealt with by Smith. Falls to Amrabat. Absolutely camped in our own box at the moment. Fernandez passes it to overlapping Shaw, who wants the cross. He plays the cross, but it's straight into the keeper. Well left by Zabani and held by Neto. If you're thinking of the one in our first Prem season, it wasn't that much like it. I'd have to look at it again, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was like that one, or like a few that Solanke have scored. I think it is just a simple finish, and that was Cook against Villa. Bring Rakiel's hub. I should have caught that. Oh, the Neto. Yeah, nah, I don't think so. I think you just got to make sure you tip that over. No, I have got no issues with him tipping that over. Man United still continuing to play out. Bournemouth pressing really well. Zabani in on Martial. And nice to see the referee's going to let a lot go, seemingly. Wonderful work by Christie. Can't quite find Semenyo. I'm going to need a lot of water. Fan Reactions Football Club, we can maybe send a message to the channel after the game, because I'm not sure how we can. I'm not sure if it's possible to remove it. But if you send a direct message to Cherries Red Army on Twitter, see what we can do. I'm not sure whether we can remove it. I don't know enough about StreamYard. Man United pushing forward. Ball gets to Martial, but a really good tackle from Kirkez. And Solanke tries to keep the ball, but he ends up going backwards, but he does get tackled by Anthony, thankfully, because that does fall to McTominay. Good stuff. So I'm on 11:45 now. That's my time for those of you that want to sort of make sure that you're on top of where I am. I'll let you know when it's 12. So it's 12 minutes on the clock now. So on the rare occasion it happens, it seems I am in front of quite a few of you, which is nice. Well, nice for me, because I know I won't get spoiled. So Man United have had a lot of the ball since then. Some good pressing by Bournemouth, though. It is the case, very much the case, that Christie is very much tasked with getting to Amrabat quickly. Martial does well here to get in front of Zabani. Now Garnacho's pushing forward, plays the ball to McTominay, but well blocked by Senesi, and that's going to go out for a Manchester United corner. This is definitely the issue that Bournemouth can have. If balls like if the striker is able to get in front of, in this case it's Zabani or whoever's pressing him, and they can support well, like United, I think that was a 5-on-5, 6-on-6, maybe 6-on-5. So Fernandez hooks it in. Maguire tries to get there. The ball falls to Cook, who heads it out, and Kluivert takes a decent first touch, tries to push it through to Tavernier, but isn't hitting it hard enough. It goes to Anthony instead. Now Dallow's in a lot of space, is able to take it. He cuts inside. He shoots. No, he passes. Now McTominay well blocked by Solanke? Or Senesi, sorry. Senesi tries a pass, and it's blocked before it can reach Kluivert. Tavernier with a foul on Anthony, but we play on, and the ball is with Garnacho on the left-hand side, who's against two players here. So he passes it backwards to Reguilon. Back to Fernandez. Amrabat on the ball, plays it wide to Anthony, who's going up against Tavernier, cuts inside as expected, tries a pass into McTominay, who takes a touch, turns and passes backwards to Anthony, who dinks the ball in, but well cleared by Smith to Reguilon, who is blocked by Semenyo. And now Christie has the ball and is looking to counter, but ends up keeping hold of it quite nicely. And now Cook has it in the left-back position. It was kind of panicky at times there, but I think just generally that was relatively well defended. Players sticking with their men, doing their job. Defenders passing around at the back. Now Neto has it, and he launches it towards Smith, who's able to take a touch. He lets it bounce, and it goes over him. That's poor from Smith. He really should be doing better with that. It wasn't the greatest pass from Neto, but it was easy enough for him to get there and control it. And we need to be keeping hold of the ball. Cook being nice and aggressive to Fernandez there. Gives away a foul, but it's definitely not a yellow, but it is making sure he knows that he's there. That does seem to be the plan at the moment for Bournemouth, which is interesting because I wonder who then gets McTominay, but it does seem that Christie is being very much going towards Amrabat, and Cook is then making sure that he's on Fernandez, which leaves McTominay open, but he's not the threat as opposed to the other two. Tavernier now pushing forwards on the counter, looking for the overlap, cuts inside, shoots straight down the throat of Onana with his weaker right foot, unfortunately. But Kirkez might be a little out of position now, but Senesi is right on top of Anthony, who misplaces his pass. Now Tavernier is on the ball, hounded by Fernandez, who puts in a really good tackle. Fernandez has got really good defensive numbers, to be fair, for an attacking player. He gets back and he works hard at times. Sometimes he just throws his arms up in the air, but at the moment, I think he's actually up for this. But nice tracking back from Kluivert, but isn't able to intercept the ball. Now Reguilon's ran beyond and well blocked and intercepted, and Smith passed it back to Neto, who clears it long. And Solanke tries to head that to Kluivert, but unfortunately difficult to control and goes straight out of play. The Man United are doing quite well in getting their overlaps down their left-hand side. I think I think Smith, Semenyo, Zabani, possibly Christie, or maybe Cook. That sort of group of three or four on that side aren't really doing well enough to prevent the overlaps and underlaps and through balls attacking down our right, which is a bit of a concern at the moment. But yeah, it looks like there's got to be just a sensible bit of communication between Senesi and Cook and Christie as to Senesi and Cook really as to who presses who. Because you can see for there from Man United sort of in possession with Onana. Oh, lovely long ball from Zabani. Now Solanke's on the ball. Keeper came out, couldn't get anywhere near it. Solanke's still on the ball, and he's got out of the box now. But really nicely done there from Zabani and Solanke. And the ball's all the way back to Zab and then Senesi now. Christie's able to turn in the middle of the pitch though, but he passed it backwards. Senesi still on the ball, plays it through to Christie. Space in the middle of the pitch. Semenyo also finding a lot of space in the middle of the pitch here. He's not on the ball yet, but he's just wandering into positions where Reguilon cannot match him. An unnecessary pass from Senesi there forces Kirkes into a header that doesn't go anywhere, and the ball's back with Onana. That was a bit silly from Senesi. He didn't need to go for that ball. Nice pressure here from Bournemouth, forcing Onana to hit this long now. You want Zabani to win this against McTominay, or rather, yeah. No, Cook was there going up against McTominay, sorry. So he shouldn't have won it. He didn't, but Bournemouth do have the ball with Neto, who's going to go long as well. Looking for Semenyo, who does win the flick on, but it goes to Shaw. Cook fouls McTominay going for that ball. Yeah, it's definitely a foul. But yeah, I do think that you've got Fernandez and McTominay, the two more attacking number eights with Amrabat that sits deeper. So when United are in safe possession at the deep with Onana on the ball, Christie's the one that pushes up to Amrabat, which leaves you with McTominay and Fernandez as the two ones that you then have to mark beyond that. So it's basically Senesi gets one of them and Cook gets the other. So you just need good communication there because they won't be on the same man each time. Whoever's on our left Senesi will have, and whoever's further on the right is the one that Cook will take. Man United now back in Bournemouth's third. Bit of poor communication care leaves Fernandez free on the ball after Anthony walks through two players in loads of space. Bournemouth should have had a foul there. I don't know how we don't, because Amrabat just wrestled Clivert to the ground. But Man United have the ball again. Fernandez has a bit of time to put the cross in, but he doesn't, which is good. Need to block those. Dallo back to Fernandez. Then onto the overlapping Maguire. To Dallo to Fernandez. Now Amrabat on the ball. Dallo, Fernandez, a lot of neat passing, but not a lot of moving beyond where they are. And we generally just force them back to the halfway line here. Ball's all the way back to Shaw. McTominay to Maguire. Maguire's marauding forward quite a bit at the moment, making sure he's getting into attacking positions and staying there. Poor ball from Anthony, but Senesi blocks it, but it sort of falls away from him, and Anthony's on the ball. Sorry, there was Martial, but now Anthony through to Fernandez, who turns in the box, tries to cut it back to Martial, but intercepted by Cook. Well done there. And the ball goes out for a Man United throw-in 35 yards out on the right-hand side. But it's back in again. 1-2 from Anthony to... Oh, wow, that was poor. 1-2 between Anthony and Fernandez, but Anthony then fires it out of play for a goal kick. No one's making that run. That was really weird. Oh, no, it is. It's okay. To be fair, sorry, they're just showing a replay of the goal, and I didn't realize that Solanke did do the kind of flick it almost under his standing leg. He did that reverse. He did that sort of like Rabona back heel flick finish that he loves to do. I didn't notice that that's what he'd done. I just expected him to have just put in a regular finish. I don't know why he loves that so much. He practices it a lot. I know that much. Nice interception there from Zab? Senesi, whichever one. Difficult to tell from this angle from sometimes. Nice pass from ooh, the ref's not giving anything at the moment. Semenyo loses the ball. It's not a good pass, but he does get caught late, and there's nothing from the ref. So it's a little bit weird at the moment from the ref. He's just not giving anything. To be fair, there's been one or two where he could have given a foul to United and he's not. But there's quite a few fouls against Bournemouth players that he's not giving, which I would hope will work out for us in the end. Oh, that's great work from Neto. Great work from Neto. Senesi gets caught trying to clear it. It hits Martial and falls down into the box. It looks like Senesi's going to lose that running battle, but Neto comes in quickly and just takes the ball. That's great work from the goalkeeper, very on his toes. That was really good work from Neto, because I would not have expected him to be that far out of goal and prepared to take that, but he was. It was really good work. Yeah, he really does. Ball down the line. Nice flick from Semenyo. Cliver gets it. Now Semenyo's back on the ball. He's running at Shaw. He's got to look for options. Kirkes is here. He's in the box. Wants to dink it in. Solanke. Oh, it's straight at the keeper. Yes, Clivert! Oh, no, sorry, Tavernier. But no, the flag's up. Is Solanke offside? Solanke might be offside here. This is a really nice dink in from Kirkes. Oh yeah, he's off. Yeah, it's good work. It's good work from Reguilon. At the last second, he it looks like Solanke's going to be onside. Then at the last second, Reguilon jumps forward to make sure that Solanke's offside. The header from Solanke is not great. Onana's save isn't good. It launches up, down. Tavernier heads it in the back of the net, but it's correctly given as offside. But another really good chance. And Bournemouth's press is still doing a really good job. Man United are struggling at times, but this is really good from United up until the last pass, and then well intercepted by Zabani getting in there ahead of Anthony. It's a little bit risky at times because when United figure out the way around it, they can continue to do it, and they are doing well here. Really nice interplay with Dalot pushing forward outside of the foot pass to Garnacho, who can't take a good first touch, but it goes to Reguilon, who crosses it in, well cleared by Senesi. And the ball falls to Semenyo, who's going to launch that long in the hope that Solanke tries to win that battle, but it's ending up in the box and easy for Onana. Really loud cheers from Man United fans now, and so they need to sort of keep supporting the team because they haven't made. I can't think of Maguire's header is the only sort of significant chance that Man United have made so far. 25 minutes gone on the clock. Bournemouth's press has been good, already scored from it, and have created the better opportunities, you'd have to say. Nice header there from Kirkes from the long ball. Senesi plays it into Cliver, but Solanke, but he can't keep the ball away from Harry Maguire, who wrestles him over and does really well there. Now Reguilon is running on, looking for the ball to Garnacho, gets in the box, gonna look to cut back, well blocked by Zabani. That was close. Nice interplay here from Man United, but again, a loose final pass, and Bournemouth are able to intercept. And Christie gets through two players, but is fouled. More good work there. United are one decent pass away from creating a very good chance. They really are. It's like Bournemouth are doing okay, but they are kind of holding on as well. They were just showing a replay while Bournemouth were on the break, and I missed the result of it. But in the end, Man United do have the ball back in their own third. Garnacho on the ball being hounded backwards by Smith, and it's a Bournemouth corner. Pass from Garnacho completely completely missed by or hit way wide of Reguilon, who he was going for, and it's out for a corner. More great work of this pressing. It's really, really working. And I would hope that if nothing else, we get a decent video from the likes of Tifo talking about our pressing system. Because Marcus Tavernier has just been yellow carded because he's only walking towards the taking the corner. He's been given a yellow for time wasting, and we just hit the 27th minute because he was taking his time to walk towards taking a corner. Ref, you will put on a minute. You will put on how long it takes. Why are you yellow carding him for that? Tavernier's ball in the box. Really good header. Oh, it's flicked away for a corner. Zabani there, flicking it on. And it's, Dallo. Yeah. It's going wide, but Dallo heads it wide and it heads it further wide. Another corner, this time from the left-hand side. Cook takes it, swings in, flicked on by a Bournemouth head, Solanke, but it goes way over. Yeah. Yeah, time wasting, as I said. Essentially time wasting. Hi, Ethan, you at the game today? Or are you trying to catch what you can of this from home like the rest of us? Oh, great work from Semenyo, but the assistant ref has flagged for a foul there. I thought that was a pretty fair battle. And considering what the ref hasn't given so far this game, it's a bit odd that he gave a foul for this one. But yeah, fair enough. I do agree that's a foul. Christie pressing Amrabat. Oh, really close to Solanke intercepting that pass, but now Dallo's on the ball, passing it forward. Lovely ball in behind for Fernandez, but he can't get on the end of it, and Senesi passed it back to, or Cook rather, passed it back to Neto. Neto plays it long. Maguire heads it out. Oh, coming back from refereeing gig. Well done, Ethan. Yeah, it's been good so far, as you can tell by the score. But a little bit of holding on at times from Bournemouth, but mostly creating some good chances. But Man United aren't far away from doing something here, I do think. That's a foul from Cliver on Reguilon. And he's kind of lucky he got yellow carded for that against Palace. And he's got a yellow card for it. How has he got a yellow card for that? The ball's just about to reach the halfway line. How has he got yellow carded for that? Cliver needs to stop doing that. That's the second time. Admittedly, what you can say is at least the refs are somewhat more consistent, because that's the exact same foul he committed against Palace that got himself a yellow card in the first half of that game. But it's just, oh no. Wait, hold on. Who did he give the yellow card to? Oh, it's Reguilon's card. What for? No, it wasn't Cliver in the end. It was Reguilon. I just assumed it was Cliver, but Reguilon's on the ground and he's clearly said something to the ref and he's got a yellow card. So, okay, fair enough. Never mind. That was not a yellow. That should never have been a yellow card for Cliver, and it wasn't, which is fine. I mean, and I say that, and then it wasn't a yellow card to Cliver. It was a yellow card to Reguilon. There was me just assuming it must have been to Cliver, but it wasn't. So weird. Oh, this is a nice little bit of interplay. Kirkes almost gets beyond McTominay, but he doesn't quite. But we do win the ball back in Man United's third again. Kluivert's on the ball. He gets it through to, almost gets it to Tavernier. Kluivert's back on the ball. Great tackle from Maguire. Kluivert just didn't know what he was doing with that ball, and Maguire comes in with a fantastic tackle. That's why he's Player of the Month. Anthony taking on Kirkes, beats him. But he's now going to take on Kirkes and Tavernier, and Kirkes hacks him down. No, referee thinks there was little to nothing in it, and Anthony's furious. I think that should have been a foul and a yellow card to Kirkes, but in the end, Antoine Semenyo's on the ball on the right wing. Coming inside, passes it all the way. Oh, dear. Semenyo passes it to Kluivert, and Kluivert just completely leaves the ball, thinking that it's going to fall to someone that's overlapping on the left, and no one's there. Total waste. Total waste. Nice bit of interplay there from Man United. Gets the ball out from an awkward spot, but a long ball over to Garnacho is not in a good position, and Garnacho can't take a good touch, and it goes out. Yeah, that's a very good point, Ben. Certainly, it has felt like a weird string of yellow cards just coming out of nowhere. Yeah, I agree. That should have been a free kick. Anthony was pretty furious that he didn't get the card. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get yellow carded for his reaction. The ref wouldn't have seen it, but the assistant ref would have done. Maguire's pushing forward. Long ball over the top to Garnacho. Somewhat. Adam Smith is hand up, but no flag raised. Garnacho keeps going. Well cleared by Senesi. Semenyo needs to get to Reguilon, but he wasn't going forward. Amrabat gets it to Dallo, who's in the middle of the pitch. Some decent marking. Kluivert looks a little bit lost at times, but generally just needs to find the man or go to a man or a ball, and he's often wandering in between a bunch of them. Some good pressure from Zabani, takes out, but Reguilon keeps going. Senesi's got to go towards him. Oh, that's a wonderful interception there from Senesi. But we might see Zabani yellow carded for taking out Martial. But now Bournemouth have a counter chance. Ball's with Tavernier on the right-hand side. He's being closed down by McTominay. And he turns, luckily keeps the ball. Oh, dear, man. He shoots from 25 yards out, and it goes about 25 yards above the goalpost. Semenyo is making a really good run. He could have picked him out. A good advantage here. And yeah, I think Reguilon should have just kept going. In the end, Senesi gets a little bit lucky, but he sticks his foot out, and it's a really good interception. Kluivert is right on top of Luke Shaw. He could have done better there to stop him from turning, but awkward clearance from Onana. Now Christie picks up the ball. Now, obviously, bear in mind, I didn't see a lot of the Crystal Palace game, but certainly this is the match in the last sort of 5 that I feel like Bournemouth had the least amount of control by quite some distance, particularly in midfield. Cook and Christie just haven't been able to really get a hold of anything. Oh, Kirkes! You already took it past Anthony twice. You didn't need to take it past him a third time. He loses the ball. Anthony's on the right-hand side. Passes it inside to Martial. Back to Martial. He's pushing inside, wants to shoot, and he does so straight down the throat of Neto. That was so frustrating there from Kirkes. He literally sits, he takes it past Anthony, then sits him down, and then tries to pass the ball through him. Just, come on, man. Oh, awkward pass there from Neto, but no press from Anthony onto Senesi, who nutmegs Anthony with a pass to Kirkes. That could have been awkward, but Anthony just didn't do any work. Kirkes with a long ball, trying to find Solanke, who just about keeps it ahead of Shaw, does really well there. And in the end, does um, win a throw. Shaw's very lucky that Fernandez stopped him from getting a yellow card there. Shaw kicks the ball towards Fernandez. If Fernandez had left it, Shaw's got a yellow card. So we are 36 and a bit minutes in. Bournemouth have got a free kick 35 yards out, slightly left of centre. Well, more like 40. Tavernier, no. Cook sending it in, flicked on by a Man United player on just about, stopped from going in the back of the net by Onana. Really good quick throw from Onana, though, finds Reguilon on the left-hand side, but some good pressure from Smith forces the ball backwards from Garnacho. Well, Fernandez with a poor ball, with a weak pass. Dallo almost gets caught there by Solanke, but not quite. Bit of a hospital pass. Now I can hear the Bournemouth fans chanting, "Is this a library?" Love to hear it. Man United continue to attack with Garnacho on the left. Well dealt with by Smith. Ball falls to Christie on the edge of the D. And Solanke is taken out by a combination of Maguire and Amrabat as he's being forced backwards. Not the most necessary foul there by the Man United defender. Or actually more so Amrabat. Yeah, it's Amrabat just, yeah, I think that's fair enough. I do think Solanke, I do wonder sometimes. I mentioned before that I thought that if Solanke's going to peel off onto any of the two centre backs, surely it's going to be Shaw, and he's just not done that. He's been much more on Maguire. I do feel that maybe they're trying to make sure that Cliver ends up being the one that sort of presses Shaw, and Solanke has a little bit more physicality on him to be able to try and deal with Maguire. But I would like to see Solanke try and push over to Shaw at some point, because I don't see him getting much out of Maguire. Man United forced us backwards. Neto's long ball goes straight to Dallo, who passes it back to Onana. Oh, nice interception there by Cook, who passes it through to Solanke, who's going to shoot against the keeper, and he shoots, and it's off the post! Oh, my word! Oh, what a chance! And it's Cook again. A poor pass from McTominay to Reguilon. Lovely pass in behind by Cook. Solanke just takes an extra second, and you think he's missed the chance, but never mind. Tavernier's on the ball here, fires it into the box. Oh, intercepted there and goes behind. Oh, that's unlucky. Smith. A foul is given against Smith, and I think Garnacho or McTominay is down holding his head. Is Garnacho holding his head? I'd imagine there was very little in that, but it's cleared there by Shaw. Oh, that's accidentally just has a little bit of a palm across the face, and he's gone down like he's been shot. Oh, so close from Solanke. He just doesn't quite get as much power as you like. It's 40 minutes and 10 seconds now, Sean, is where I am. I live up here, Ben. I can tell you that they can read. They know their A to Z's, Z's. Not much more, but Cook taking shooting lessons from Cook. Cook hasn't taken a shot, I don't think. I love every time they replay that goal. That's his, yeah, Solanke's 8th goal of the season. I'm fairly certain that is now. Garnacho's still being attended to, so while that is happening, I am going to just show up. Because we'll have a look at the stats later. So let's just show up the current fixtures and what the scores are. So we have, for those of you that didn't see it, Crystal Palace ended up losing from Liverpool came from behind to win 2-1 here. Wolves Nottingham Forest is a 1-1 draw. Cunha, yes, fantasy team getting a goal back after Harry Toffolo put Nottingham Forest in front. Nottingham Forest with the last chance for Cooper to survive here, with Brighton Burnley 0-0, Sheffield United Brentford 0-0. That's not quite expected. But yeah, not a lot of goals so far. Only 3 so far in the 3 o'clock kickoffs, and one of them was here. Oh, I see what you mean now. It's shooting as in he's gone down like he's been shot. I thought it was Smith. I think it's Smudge that ended up just palming Garnacho. The Monster. Can't see the game here in the States as I don't have proper subscription regular channel showing, but Brighton Burnley. So fair enough. Yes, you need Peacock over there, don't you, for this game? Well, glad of you to join us. I'll try and keep you abreast of everything that's going on, including Semenyo taking a poor touch and putting the ball out of play on a counter-attack opportunity. But 43 minutes and a bit gone. Sean, didn't watch the pre-match interview. Was there any news about any players coming back? Not in this game. But I, to be honest, I've only caught little snippets and the sort of release on the AFCB website. So I don't think much has happened. Oh, Burnley just scored. Ooh, who are Burnley playing again? Brighton. Didn't see that coming. With just over a minute with exactly a minute of normal time to go, with then stoppages to be obviously considered for additional time, it is still Man United 0, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth have a throw on the right, which is flicked on by Semenyo and again by Cook. And Man United have the ball in safe possession at the back with Maguire. And Fernandez plays the ball back to Reguilon, to Garnacho, to Fernandez. Round to Reguilon, who looks to cross the ball in. He does so, but Neto claims it. Look at that. Neto claiming a cross. You love to see it. Nine goals, Phil. Don't know which match week you're watching. From the 3 o'clock kickoffs, there's 4 goals at the moment because Burnley just scored. I wouldn't call it a must-win game, Sean. It's we don't even have to get a result. We don't even have to get a draw from it. It's just like you think that this is a great chance to get a draw. Ooh, Neto playing a bit risky there, and then he immediately fires it straight to Fernandez. Garnacho in the box, wants to shoot. Great block by Sabani. Wonderful tackle by Lewis Cook. You love to see it. Fernandez has gone down like he's been shot. Now Bournemouth have a chance to counter. Solanke, it puts it through to Semenyo, who's almost one-on-one. If he cuts it back to Solanke, he can shoot, but it's wonderfully blocked by Maguire because it's a terrible pass from Semenyo. There was a 4-on-3, and it's not good enough from Semenyo, unfortunately. And now Man United have a chance to counter. 4 minutes of stoppages have been announced. Martial are pushing forward. Unsurprisingly, Fernandez got straight back up as soon as Man United looked like they were going forward. But misplaced pass, and now Tavernier's on the ball. He's being trying to get past Amrabat, who slides in and wins it well. Tavernier just looks like he's run out of energy there. I don't know why. He should be pretty fresh. Tavernier should not be losing a race to Amrabat there. Anthony's trying to go past Kirkes. Can't quite do it. Turns around and plays it back to Dallo. 2.5 minutes of stoppage time left to play. Fernandez on the ball, 25 yards out, plays it wide to Martial on the left, who wants to cut it into Scott McTominay, but he's not making that run, and the ball is at Neto's feet, who can take his time. Ooh. This is such a good opportunity to counter, and if this pass from Semenyo is halfway decent, it's a goal, but it's just a hospital pass, and Maguire reads it brilliantly. Really, really well read by Maguire, but they should have scored. Absolutely should have scored from that. It's a fantastic counter-attacking opportunity. Started by Lewis Cook. Lewis Cook, once again, absolutely shining in midfield. Fernandez on the ball, 30 yards out. Tries to dink it into behind to Martial, but it's flicked on by Zabani, and Neto can claim. It was a decent attempt, but well defended by... Maybe a little bit accidentally well defended, but it was well defended. Experts manager Tim Sherwood on Sky Sports says only a matter of time before United score. Of course he does, because he's Tim Sherwood. Well done by Semenyo. Wins the ball by kicking it off Garnacho. And as much as I say that, Terry, as much as he might say that, I've been saying that United are one good pass away from creating a fantastic chance. That doesn't mean they'll score. They're just very close to creating a good chance because they haven't created anything yet. Solanke's got 9 across league and cup, I believe. Solanke, but Phil. But I'm fairly certain he's only got 8 in the league. You can check that for me. But I'm fairly certain he's only got 8 in the league. And generally, you'll be looking at league totals. Certainly for players when they're not at like massive figures. Oh, ball in behind for Solanke. Gets past one up against Shaw. Oh, that's a perfect pass to Semenyo, and he just misses it. We have been, how have we not 2-0 up in this game? Absolutely sure. There was a Maguire shot. There was a Maguire header that he tipped over the bar, and every other shot that's got anywhere near him has just been straight down, has just P-rolled towards him. So it's not been anything. There's nothing that Neto has had to do particularly well. He almost got himself into a bit of trouble when he was on the ball. Anthony almost slid in and intercepted him, but in the end, it was fine. Every now and then I listen to every now and then I fall apart. Listen to the German commentary, and they're impressed by Bournemouth. Yeah, well, I'd say they should be. I sung that completely out of key. Right. Half time. Man United 0, AFC Bournemouth 1. Ben, I like that, Germany, because I've mentioned your commentary would be slightly less biased. Yeah, you would think so. Not like Tim Sherwood. Right, it's half time. I will take my customary break to fill up my drink and go to the loo, and then we'll have a look at the stats. I would say XG is probably going to be just slightly in Bournemouth's favour. Bournemouth haven't produced Bournemouth have produced the best chances. Man United have taken more shots, I want to say. I think we might be point 0.1 or point 0.2 ahead of them in XG. That's going to be my guess. But yeah, I'll get back to you on that when we have a look at the stats after I get back. So, oh, let me just put on this and see you in a minute. And we're back. Remembering to unmute this time. Right. Okay. I suppose the thing to do first off would be to have a look at what are the stats showing on SofaScore. So I'll just need to get that back up again, and we can have a look and see what that is saying. Come on. Oh, this is taking ages to zoom in and out of. Sorry for the delay. Right, there we go. Not that one. That one. There we are. Right. So, first things first, momentum bar. Understandably, a decent amount of Manchester United pressure in moments. Here you can see sort of between maybe 10 to what? Not just after the goal to about 15 minutes in, Man United were very much on top of us. That was a period where I was sort of like, yeah, it could be any moment that Man United create something very, very good, and they just never did. They just never quite made that good chance. And after that, you can see it's pretty darn even. The peaks are better for Bournemouth, but it's generally been very even. You can see there's no real one team that's massively dominating from about 15 minutes onwards, which is a really, really, really good sign for Bournemouth. But if we have a look at the statistics, okay, so it's a little bit closer than I thought on XG. But I did say that Bournemouth would be doing slightly better on XG. I said 0.1 to 0.2. In the end, it's only 0.07. But Bournemouth have the better XG. Massive disparity in ball possession, but only one shot difference. Same on target. We blocked 5 of their shots. Corner kicks are relatively similar. 1 yellow card each. We've created 1 big chance, hit the woodwork, created 2 counter-attacking shots. So many really positive aspects to this performance. A number of successful crosses, actually, which is not typical of us, but is good to see. Nice chunk of dribbles completed. The issue has definitely been aerial, is that we're not necessarily winning those duels as much as we should do. This disparity here, 32 to 22 on duels 1, particularly aerial duels here, 13 to 5, is a little bit of a concern. But yeah, generally, pretty darn delighted with that performance so far. So let's get some comments in. How are people feeling? I think we should all be absolutely blimmin' delighted at that. It's obviously only 1-0. Things can change quickly. Ask Crystal Palace. 1 red card and suddenly they're 1-0 down, and it wasn't long before they were 2. It was 1-1, and then it was 2-1 before you could really blink. John, a Bournemouth blitzkrieg. Very apt with AFC Bournemouth Germany's comments as well. Does it say clear-cut opportunities? It'll say big chances. Is sort of the big one. And a big chance, certainly defined by Opta, is one where a player is reasonably expected to score. What that generally means is about 0.3 or 0.33 on XG is roughly what you would describe as that or higher to be a big chance. Let me just have a look and see what SofaScore gave Solanke's goal in terms of XG. 0.25. Okay, so they give it a 0.25. The thing is, it just depends because the definition is so loose that it could be, you could even see something that's like 0.15 technically classed as a big chance, but it's one where you would reasonably expect the striker to score. So in this case, Solanke's was a 0.25 XG chance, and that was deemed a big chance, which is fair enough. 1 in 4 is a pretty big chance. AFC Bournemouth Germany, really impressed, just disappointed this 1-0. Could have scored 2 or 3 with better passes and some luck. Absolutely. There were a couple of counter-attack chances where we definitely could have done more with it. There's one in particular where Semenyo's pass to Solanke is just not strong enough, and Maguire reads it brilliantly. Maguire's had a great game so far. I do think, obviously, they've conceded, but personally, I would say that Maguire's had a blimmin' cracking game so far. Let's just have a look at what SofaScore is giving the ratings of the players. Yeah, Harry Maguire 7.3, just behind Fernandez as their best player. What is with this advertisement thing here? And as for Bournemouth, Solanke on 7.6 here, with Lewis Cook currently the best player on the pitch, according to SofaScore. Marco Senesi having another good game. I think Christie has done decently well. Tavernier was very harshly given a yellow, I feel, but pretty darn decent performance from the back line, all told. But there's definitely more to come, particularly from United. We look at their subs bench, and you're looking at possibly Pellistri. Almost certainly Marcus Rashford will come on, and I wouldn't be surprised if Rasmus Højlund is on before long as well. But let's not focus on Manchester United. Let's focus on Bournemouth. And you got to say, it's been good so far. But as mentioned, we've got to be cautious. We've got to be cautious. They definitely could. There's United have definitely got it in them to score and score early. Bournemouth are typically not great in the first 15 minutes after half time. Certainly the last 15 in making sure that they don't concede. If I load up Understat, who actually has the data on this loaded up for us, that is not the right one. I've loaded that on the wrong tab. Understat.com. Bournemouth. There we go. We've got it up correctly now. So here's understat.com, which is a really useful source of useful source of information for certain bits and bob, particularly things like expected points, which doesn't show up on most sites. Although they do have slightly different XG scores to Opta and SofaScore and the like. Here's the timing windows of matches cut into the 6 15-minute sections. You can see that Bournemouth have actually improved. They typically I know earlier on in the season they were pretty bad in this period, 46 to 60. But we actually, well, I say pretty bad. We are most likely to concede a goal so far this season in this period. We've conceded 8.3 XG against across all of the fixtures that we've played in this particular so far this season. Only conceding 5, but should have conceded 8. So we hold on at times in this period, or maybe get a bit of luck. But generally just need to weather the first 15 minutes. Should try and power ourselves to try and get something in the next 15, and then it may well be a hang-on job in the last 15 because we are not good at preventing goals in the last 15 minutes plus stoppages. We've conceded more goals in the last 15 minutes plus added time of games than we have in any other period this season, which I would imagine is relatively typical for teams, particularly ones of Bournemouth's size that are going up against stronger opposition. But one of those was against Sheffield United, so it's not always the case that it's against the big boys. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. Shouldn't be too long before we're back underway. The players are not out yet. It is still half time. Man United players are in the tunnel. Bournemouth players are not. But we have 45 minutes to try and secure a famous result in this fixture. If I wasn't doing this watch along, I would be probably just taking in all of the banter that's getting thrown at that's getting thrown Man United's way at the moment. But Sheffield United last at 45 plus 1. Sheffield United scored against Brentford. What the hell is happening? Burnley are winning and Sheffield United are winning. It's not looking good for Luton. Interesting. Right. Manchester United are out. I'm just doing some last second scrolling through Twitter just to see what's being spoken about. But yeah, should be interesting. Right, players are out. Fernandes is over the ball, waiting to kick us off in the second half. And there goes the whistle. Kickoff for the second half. And Onana plays the ball long to start us off. Good header from Senesi out. Second ball falls to United. And they are in our third again. Dallo on the ball, trying to go past Kirkes. Doesn't do so, and it's a goal kick. That's a good point, Ben. I play snooker with a City, well, at least one City fan, maybe two. I'd definitely be making sure he gets me a drink. if it stays like it is. Bournemouth still on the attack now. Solanke has the ball past Shaw. He jinxes back, tries to play it across to Clivert, but it gets intercepted by Shaw. But it's another chance, really. But that's some really good work there by United, and Garnacho is pushing forward, gets past Senesi a bit too easily, tries to find Anthony, and he fires it past him as Anthony slips. FC Bournemouth will be the third time we could come away with a point from Manchester after the 3-3 against Man City in the 90s. And in the 90s, that's how far back you've got to go from how much success we've had in Manchester. Blimey. Yeah, 1 point from United. That's all we've got from Manchester so far in our Premier League careers. Wow. At least we've got 2 wins against United at home over the seasons, but yeah, not so good away. Oh wow. Back when we back when that seemed feasible. Good pressing from Bournemouth, but then Christie doesn't quite keep hold of the ball, and it ends up with Dallo. United on the attack. Anthony Martial on the ball. Out to Garnacho, going up against Christie and Smith. He goes round 1 or 2. The ball flicks off a Bournemouth player and should be going out for a corner, and it does. Smith has done a decent job so far, you've got to say, of going up against Garnacho. Corner was taken quick while they were showing a bloody replay, but it wasn't dealt with. It wasn't very good and was dealt with. But the ball is with United, 30 yards out. Ball's now with Garnacho on the left up against Semenyo. Now with Reguilon against Smith. Anthony's come inside, but now he's on the left. Probably going to try and cross, but in the end he'll pass it to Garnacho instead. Back to Anthony. Back to Reguilon. To Anthony. In behind to Reguilon. Semenyo doesn't follow him. Reguilon's in the box. It goes to McTominay, well blocked by Kirkes. And again by Kirkes. Great block. Double block by Kirkes. Working his inner Steve Cook at getting in a double block there. Fantastic work. Ball in from the corner. Or should have been cleared by Semenyo, but missed. Now it's with Garnacho on the left. He cuts inside, wants to shoot. Well blocked by Christie. Headed out by Clivert. And, Amrabat gets very lucky there to not lose the ball. But it ends up with Reguilon, who walks through 3 players, gets it out to Garnacho. He should have passed it inside. There were options. Garnacho now on the left against Smith. Crosses it in. Well, just about dealt with there by Zabani, who flicks a foot out to put it out for a corner. Oh, it's in 1999. It was even further back than you thought. Bournemouth are still under the cosh a lot. I said these first 15 minutes, we've not been typically good at this, dealing with stopping attacks. Corner comes in from the left by Reguilon, punched by Neto, not very far. Garnacho has the ball. Clivert almost fouls him, but doesn't. End up with great tackle from Clivert in the box. He just about does really well there, Clivert. It was risky, it was close, but he does do really well there, Clivert. Long ball in, goes nowhere. It's out for a goal kick. There's a lot of holding on. I think you were mentioning how Tim Sherwood said like there's going to be a goal any moment now. It's like it's never been that there's going to be a goal any moment. It just feels like Bournemouth are just about stopping Man United from creating any decent shooting opportunities. But any moment now, one of those may well turn up, and then that will just need Neto to do his job, if it's obviously not miles out of his reach. Admittedly, I'm being pedantic. I'm not saying anything that's all that dissimilar from what Tim Sherwood would be saying, but he's absolutely biased towards the big 6 clubs. Good pressure from Bournemouth and Zabani on Martial. Ball goes from one throw from Man United, goes straight out for a Bournemouth throw. Let me just give you an update on my timings. It is 50 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock now. Smith with a throw on the right-hand side of the halfway line. Ball has fallen to Semenyo, who just about keeps hold of it and sends it back to Zabani, who sends it all the way back to Neto. And I imagine this will go long. Yeah, good. Martial does a good run there to block off the easy ball, and it does go longer, but it's not a very good ball at all from Neto, and Maguire wins that ahead of Cliver. Now, Anthony is running inside, definitely wants to shoot, but is well marshalled. It goes to Fernandez. Now it's a 2-on-1 on the left with Garnacho swinging the ball in. Maguire's free. He heads it around, and it is just about dealt with by Senesi, who ends up dribbling it out of the box and gives it to Cook, who dribbles further down and then looks to play a ball in behind to Tavernier, who ends up winning the ball offshore for a throw-in. Shaw just was very lazy there. He could easily have got to that ball first, and he doesn't. And in the end, Bournemouth have a throw very close to the Man United box. But really, this is this just showing a replay of this chance. Good ball from Garnacho. Kirkes doesn't get close enough to Maguire, headers it back, and that could easily have fallen to Scott McTominay. That's again just that last pass that Manchester United cannot do at the moment. But as soon as they get it, you feel as though there's a good chance coming. Decent work from Semenyo, keeps the ball, gets it to Cliver, who plays it to Tavernier. In beyond to Kirkes. Kirkes and Dalot slide in. It's not a good pass from Tavernier. And in the end, Anthony does really well to bring this ball out and gets it to McTominay, who passed it back to Dalot. Really poor pass from Tavernier. He didn't need to play that so awkwardly to Kirkes. Oh, Maguire taking a risk there. Maguire's getting all confident now. Took an unnecessary risk against Solanke, but he does end up doing well here. And now Luke Shaw's going down the left-hand side, pass it to Reguilon. It's still a position that you feel like Bournemouth could create a really good chance from a counter-attack at any moment. The pressing is not as effective this second half. Admittedly, Bournemouth haven't really had the opportunity to press Man United very much in their third yet, because Man United have had all the possession and all of the momentum so far. But it's a pretty well-organised Bournemouth setup at the moment. An attempted long ball goes straight to Kirkes, who heads it to Tavernier, and now Bournemouth are in the Man United half. But we end up working it well nicely and getting it back through a few players to Zabani, just inside the Bournemouth half. He takes a moment to get it to Smith. He plays it up to Semenyo. Good. Semenyo and they go down a bit too easily. No foul. Ball's with Martial to Garnacho on the left, up against Smith. Great block by Smith. Doesn't even go for a corner, goes for a throw. Need to see a little bit more from Semenyo in that situation, but he also needs the midfield to offer, because I don't think the pass was really all that easy to make. Reguilon pass throws it out to a completely free Amrabat. Not enough pressure on him, but goes to McTominay and over to the right-hand side to Anthony. Kirkes needs to get closer. Plays it behind to Dalot. Plays it back to Anthony. Chrissy gets to McTominay. Back to Dalot. Back to McTominay. To Anthony. Passing it around in neat little triangles around the right, but not pushing forward. Amrabat makes a run in beyond. Well tracked by Senesi, and well done by Tav. He blocks a pass and it bounces off Amrabat. And he knows it. He complains to the ref, but I could see it from my screen that it bounced off him. Sean, yeah, I absolutely agree. Defense has done really well so far. I keep mentioning, we've just about made sure that Manchester United haven't made that chance yet. It's been really close though, and we are holding on well for the most part. But now McTominay, really good tackle there by Senesi, but it still lands at a Man United player. Anthony's pushing in from the right, overlapping Fernandez. Tries to cross it in, but it's well blocked by Senesi, who's having another really good game. Senesi's getting a lot of blocks and interceptions in. He's doing really well. Fernandez with the outswinging corner from the right-hand side. 55 minutes gone. And Martial has been taken off for Højlund, who's got a big round of applause from the Man United fans. 55 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock. This would be very typical of Bournemouth to allow Højlund to get his first league goal for United. Corner played short to Anthony, who tries to get it to the back post. Well flicked out. Full to Garnacho. Christie blocks him well. But he is able to turn. Now Garnacho squaring up. Yes, well done, Christie. But then he almost loses it, and he does lose it. Christie does well, but then loses it immediately. Now it's with Amrabat again, who's got all the time in the world to play a pass. Plays it to Garnacho, who's coming inside, wants to cross. He does cross, and it's, I think, well defended. Yeah, it's a corner. Wasn't entirely sure whether that was just a massive mishit from Højlund or not, but cleared out for a corner. Reguilón on the left with an outswinging corner. Now it's headed in by McTominay, ends up with Anthony, who's flicked it out to Fernandez on the right-hand side. It's back to Anthony, who cuts inside, goes past Christie, dinks it into the back post. Solanke pushing backwards. Yeah, that's not come off any Bournemouth player. It's a goal kick. Some really impressive resilience from Bournemouth at the moment. Not the greatest defending every time. And the fact that there it looked like Adam Smith was marking Scott McTominay. Not the matchup you want, but I think that's what it was. Now Semenyo's coming off. I do feel like Semenyo has started quite a few games recently. I kind of expected him to not play from the start today, just because he's probably going to be knackered. But he is off before the hour mark. And Billing comes on, interestingly, which suggests to me that Kluivert will go to the right-hand side, which he does. Kluivert has gone to the right-hand side. Billing immediately involved. Taken out somewhat, but it wasn't a foul. Good work from Amrabat. And Man United have the ball again with Maguire. Possession stats just been shown up. In the first half, United had 73%. In the second half, they've got 76%. It is just so possession dominant, but they just haven't created all that many good chances. Nice turn from Christie there after Bournemouth won the ball back and passed it between a few players. He just needs to wait for the right opportunity to go. Well, he doesn't even pass forward. It goes back to Smith. That feels unnecessarily negative. That feels so unnecessarily negative there from Christie. The weather, I can't really tell on the screen, but the commentators are saying it's chucking it down over there. Kirker's coming forward now on the left-hand side, looking for the pass, ends up playing it wide to Tavernier, who does put it in the box. Solanke tries to win the header, but can't. Fernandez lets it fall to Christie. Now it's back with Tavernier. Billing in behind, but that must be a offside. Yeah, there was an offside there. Nice ball in behind to Billing. This is something that I've noticed Billing has done a lot since he's not offside as well. He's really not. Billing gets in behind, cuts the ball across, and is inches away from Solanke getting on that. The assistant ref gave an offside for that. He shouldn't have done if he was decent. It should have been a corner because it was Onana that ends up flicking it out. Zabarnyi, yeah, that's definitely a foul on Højlund, and I would be surprised if it's not a yellow. Did the ref give a yellow to Zabarnyi or Højlund there? I think so. Zabarnyi has just fouled Højlund. He's all over him. He's doing a really good job, but so is Højlund. It's a good contest, and Zabarnyi does get the ball, but not until he's been all over the man. And there you go. Rasmus Højlund does this, and he gets himself a yellow card like an absolute moron. So Zabarnyi has got away with it. He hasn't got a yellow card. Højlund has. Free kick in from Man United isn't a great one, but it's not a great header out by Billing. Crossed in by Anthony. Really good ball, but it's headed by Dalot straight at Neto. So again, a really easy Really easy take for the keeper. Sean, yeah, if it was a goal, it would have been. It would have unfortunately, Solanke couldn't quite get on the end of it, but yeah, it would have been given. Absolutely would have given because he was onside. Long ball from Neto goes straight to Maguire. Not the greatest. Lovely take there from Cook, though. Oh no, 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 not no! Don't do that, Senesi. Hoyland is through at the moment, and he slipped over. Oh, the assistant ref has given the offside. Given offside. That seems an interesting call, actually. So big header here from Maguire. It falls to Cook, who takes a touch and hits it backwards. Yeah, okay. I suppose Hoyland is offside from the initial one. He can't really impact your opposite. He can't really impact the opponent at that point because he was coming from an offside position. That does seem like a lengthy. That seems like a. That does seem a bit odd though. But one I understand. It's certainly in the rules, and it let Senesi get away with it because it was a poor mistake from Senesi. Fernandez wants a high foot there from Billing, but he'd already ducked well out of the way before getting involved. So quite rightly, the ref has continued to play on. A much higher press from United now. Bournemouth having to be careful about playing it around their own third. And Christie does really well there to just about win Bournemouth a throw. Just over 62 minutes gone. Only one substitution from both sides. Man United have still not made any clear-cut opportunities yet, but they have been looking dangerous. Bournemouth haven't looked as good on the counter as they did in the first half. Solanke loses the ball there, it goes out for a throw to Man United. Oh, Fernandez nutmegs Cliver, and the ball goes through to Maguire. Bournemouth are just allowing Maguire to just walk into their own half there, which is a little frustrating. Good interception there, and Smith clears it out for a throw just inside Man United's half. I do think the insistence on just sitting back so quickly is a little bit concerning. I would prefer someone to actually try and challenge Maguire when he's just walking into our half. Yeah, I like the idea of that. I think if you're coming personally, I would prefer that if you're coming from an offside position, but you receive the ball onside, I think you should be allowed to be onside. That would be my preference, but that does put even more pressure on the assistant refs. I would say, kind of means they have to look out for something else, but it shouldn't be as difficult to spot, I suppose. Man United still have the ball at the back with Maguire. Some pressing from Solanke, but I think he needs to ease off the amount of pressing he's doing. And this is the concern. I think that some of the players are going to be quite tired. Solanke in particular does a lot of running around, and he may well find it difficult to continue pressing. Good work from Garnacho, but it's lost by McTominay. But then Maguire wins it back off Solanke immediately. Maguire's had an absolutely amazing game. He's been brilliant. Now the ball's with Hoyland. Now Fernandez plays it back to Hoyland. Hoyland first time shoots, and Bournemouth just about deal with it, but it's now with Anthony who shoots, and it bounces off Senesi. There's a lot of shouting. I think there's appeals for I think there's been some appeals for a penalty. There is going to be a penalty check, but in the meantime, Bournemouth are trying to counter-attack. Cook gets past Fernandez and is fouled, but the ball ends up with Cliver. Penalty checks over, there is not going to be one. So it'd be interesting to see what happened there. Now Christie is running through. Nice work, gets it to Cliver. Cliver hasn't played off the right-hand side for us at all, I don't think, yet. So it's going to be interesting how much of an impact he can have on that side. I would prefer just might as well take him off and put on Dango or Sinistera. Tavernier should have the energy to keep going, but some nice possession from Bournemouth. It's the most we've had this second half. Passing it around midfield quite nicely. Now Clivert's on the right-hand side. Billings looking for an overlap, but Clivert comes inside, looking for a pass or a shot. He ends up just walking into a Man United player. Now Billing with the ball over the top to Tavernier, but it's too far. It's a good attempt, but he can't quite set up Tavernier like he did more against Palace. I think the quality is the main reason the press isn't. Yeah, definitely. Oh, they're trying to get so they want a foul. So here's the penalty check is that's a wonderful block by Senesi. The penalty check is that Fernandez is Adam Smith is tussling with Fernandez, and Fernandez goes down in the box. They want a penalty for it, but it's just not going to be given. Great work from Smith here to pressure. Now Kluivert's up near the Man United box. Pass it back to Billing, who keeps the ball well from Fernandez. Ball's now with Cook, who passes it inside to Tavernier, but is intercepted by Smith. Need to see a bit more from Tavernier in that situation. I'm surprised he hasn't made more changes yet. Really nice ball from Amrabat over the top to Dalot. It's now a 3-on-2. Dallow's in a load of space. He hasn't been tracked by Kirkez, but Dalot shoots and it goes wide. Kirkez does do some really good work to get back into position there, but in the end, Dalot makes the wrong call. It's the first real good counter-attacking chance Man United have had, I think, and Kirkez is kind of caught out there. He does really try and get back into position, works hard, and does slide in to block a cross, but Dalot shoots, and Neto is well aware of where his near post is and is very well positioned. You can see Neto makes a quick glance to check his near post, so he knows he's in a really good spot. Absolutely correct, Ben. It normally is smudge that goes down easy. Foul given against Kluivert for Man United in their third, or just about in their third. It does feel like this is a game that we're not going to get anything from, or at least we're not going to get more than a point from at the moment, because it's just so Man United dominant. But now Solanke's pushing forward, gets through 3 players, passes it out to Tavernier. He's got to lay this off. He gets it over to Billing on the side. Billing shoots, scores! Billing scores! It's 2-0! Get in there! Come on! And I just said it feels like we're not going to get more than a point from this game. Oh my word. One decent counter-attacking opportunity. Solanke gets the ball from Zabani, fires it out to Tavernier, and Tavernier, who's been rather poor this second half, fires it towards the back, clips it in towards the back post, and Billing is there to absolutely dominate over Luke Shaw. I want to say it's Luke Shaw. Zabani with a nice pass. Solanke just walks his way through 3 players, gets it to Tavernier, and then here is Billing at the back post, and he gets well above Luke Shaw. He might even be off his shoulder. I think that might actually. I need to see a slow-mo. That might be off his shoulder. I'm not sure. It might be off his shoulder, but it is 2-0. There's no. Yeah, I think that's off his shoulder. I think that's off a combination of head and shoulder, probably just shoulder. There you go. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, it just really has. Bournemouth haven't done anything this half. Like, for those of you that haven't been watching, Bournemouth have maybe got forward occasionally and done a little bit. That's Bournemouth's first shot of the second half. That's their first shot of the second half. And it's the first real quality counter-attacking opportunity that we've had. The first real one that we've had. Lewis Cook's just messed around with the ball a little bit too much there. He shouldn't have done that, but Bournemouth get a little bit lucky. It's a poor pass from Fernandez, and then he's messed it up again. Cook's pulled something. Fernandez is going forward. He passes it out to the left to Garnacho, but is well marshaled by Smith, who gets it still in, and in the end, I think it's McTominay that gets the last touch and puts it out for a goal kick. We get lucky there. Lewis Cook loses the ball twice when he shouldn't have done. But it is looks like Bournemouth making another change, and it is Sinistera that's going to be coming on. Adam Smith's having a really good game against Garnacho. Garnacho is a player that people have been raving about, and he's done nothing this game apart from one good ball into the back post for Maguire. That's all he's done. It's been great to see Adam Smith back doing what he can do. Oh, that's a nice little ball forward there. Tavernier heading to Solanke, heads it back to Tavernier. But now Kirk is on the ball. Oh, he does really well there to keep that. That's got to be a foul, and it is. Bournemouth have a free kick 20 yards out on the left-hand side. Right, let's have a look at some of these comments. Sorry. Yeah, people laughing at me now because I've just. To be fair, if you're going to get a commentator's curse from a fan of your own side, you want it this way around. You don't want me saying, "I think Bournemouth are going to score any moment here," and it goes the other way. Gene, awesomeness. These guys are for real. I think they really, really are. Yes, that's absolutely right from Ethan there. 2-0, Philip. Big head billing. T-shirt rule, not a handball. And yeah, I would never have said it was a handball, Ben. I'm just wondering whether it came off his shoulder or not. Shoulder's perfectly fine. He hates heading so much he uses his shoulder instead. Yeah, there you go. Whew. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Manchester. In fact, the game is being played about half an hour drive away from here if there's no traffic. So I just completely forgot to get a ticket and decided, hey, this might be a good time to do a watch along. I won't scrounge around to get a ticket. Let's just do the watch along instead. And in the end, it's going well regardless. The free kick was just played by Cook. Dallow, under very little pressure, puts it out for a corner because there were no Man United, no Bournemouth players around. Corner count, Man United have had 8. Bournemouth are now on their 3rd corner. I think to an extent, yes, definitely. But he's also not going forward anymore. He's just sitting back and making sure he defends. Corner from the right, put in by Christie. Diving header from Dallow. Reguilon heads out for another Bournemouth corner. That is Bournemouth's. Will be Bournemouth's 4th corner of the game. Another one by Christie. Sorry, not Tavernier, because Christie will have gone off. Was it Christie that went off, or was it Cliver? I honestly didn't check. Sorry, it is Tavernier. Oh, header by Senesi! Yes! It's another one! It's 3 now! Tavernier with the ball in the box, and Senesi has scored. We are absolutely tearing them apart. Oh, my word. Senesi scores his second for the 2nd game in a row. And I love this. I put Senesi in my fantasy team. And he's just scored. And he's got a clean sheet at the moment. Fingers crossed, knock on wood. I bet he isn't. AFC Bournemouth Germany. I bet he isn't. It's a completely free header. And it's no way Onana saving it. Rock the world. Dominate the world. Europe, we're coming. Flip says, wow. Germany, I can't believe it. It's such a good header. It's a really good ball in. And 2 goals from corners, both scored by Senesi in the space of 4 days. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. Oh, my word. Love this. And now Bournemouth have a chance to counter again. Sinistero just about loses it from the pass from Solanke. 15 minutes to go in the game. Oh, lovely from Lewis Cook. Back heel. Sinistero passes it back to Zabani. This is the point at which you kind of expect Man United's press to start to fall apart a little bit, because they'd just be running at players and just trying to desperately win the ball back, because they're so incessant on trying to win the ball at any means necessary that their press may well fall apart. Oh, ball in from the right, crossed in from Fernandez, and at the 2nd attempt, Neto claims it very nicely. Goldbridge telling Bournemouth to piss off and calling Bournemouth Burnley with a peer. He's just a sore loser, isn't he? He's a prick. I treat Mark Goldbridge on the level of I show speed. I try and stay away from anything that involves them at all. The one exception is the Ben Foster recap show, but now they've stopped talking about every game and they only talk about 3 games. So I've stopped watching that as well. I'll watch it this weekend. I'll watch it this Monday, though. I'll watch everything Mark Goldbridge is involved in this weekend, this week coming up. Man United are obviously continuing to attack. Hoyland is trying to run through 3 players, but it falls to McTominay. Another wonderful sliding interception from Senesi. Senesi's had another fantastic game. Anthony now on the ball on the right-hand side. Up against Kirkes, who's also had done a really good job against him. I'm amazed Marcus Rashford isn't on the pitch. Dalot trying to skim past 3 players, and Ryan Christie ends up taking charge and dealing with it quite rightly. Neto was about to come out, but Christie took charge. That's what I want to see. This is the thing, Ethan. It doesn't matter what the score was today. Man United are the story. Bournemouth aren't the story. This is the frustrating thing for fans of smaller teams like us. It doesn't matter what the score was today. Man United are the story. If this was a draw, Man United are the story. If Bournemouth win, Man United are the story. If Man United win, Man United are the story. Didn't matter. But this is an incredible performance from this Bournemouth side. Man United haven't been terrible. They just haven't been able to make the final chance. Their XG will still not be great. You know, it'll still be awkward for them. It's not been a terrible performance from Man United, but they clearly haven't done well enough defensively. Garnacho attempts a shot from long range. It skims towards Abani, who clears it long. Now Shaw's on the ball. Yeah, can't wait for that. My stream has gone down. Don't do this to me now. Stop messing around. I'll give you a timing update in a second. Yeah, put the noose away. It's only football. A ball attempted to play in behind, but unsuccessful. Sinistera is maybe playing it a bit too much, but ends up clearing it long in the end. And Solanke flicks it on, and Tavernier almost gets there, but Dalot muscles him off it. And Dalot tries a long ball, but it ends up going out for a throw. Happy days. Seen that coming since the Chelsea game in Iro. I've been cooking for some time for this to happen game after game. I think I went in. I'm gonna be smug about this. In my predictions, I put that Bournemouth would win. In my heart of hearts, I hoped and hoped that Bournemouth would win. I hoped, but I didn't expect anything. And I'm calling this way too early. There's 12 minutes of the game to go. But my predictions, admittedly, I said 2-1 to Bournemouth, I think. But it's working out so far. 3-0. Hope you've been enjoying listening to this on your mobile, Andrew. Another Cockney Lancashire Devils fan, though. Yeah. Well, he doesn't go to the games, does he, Goldbridge? He just does his watch-alongs, and because he's been doing it for ages, because he's been doing it a long time, he's got some sort of reputation. He does know a lot of what he's talking about. To be fair, if you've seen him do quizzes and stuff, he does know his Man United history. He just doesn't go to games. I don't go to a lot, but I still go. Anyway, let's not stop. I mean, to be fair, I don't mind us digging into Mark Goldbridge, but let's just. I'm going to focus on the game from now on, or at least try to. I said I would give you a timing update. Man United have made a couple of changes. I'll just mention those in a second. Good work there from Lewis Cook, who's having another great game. Is taken down by Rashford. No, Pellistri gets past 2 players. He's still going. Plays it to Reguilon, who tries to get into the back post, but Neto claims it. Just gone past 80 minutes. It's 80 minutes and 10 seconds on the clock. Good claim from Neto. They almost made something happen. Oh, Tim Sherwood. Whatever. What? And I suppose, yeah, okay, Lancashire in terms of Tim Sherwood, but it's not like Goldbridge isn't from London. and lives in London and stays in London, but is a Man United fan. Oh, that should have been a foul. Amrabat on Solanke, but no, nothing given. Solanke gets up pretty quickly. You can hear the Bournemouth fans chanting, "Shall we sing a song for you?" Dallo trying to get past Tavernier, but it's not working. I mean, if there's like the Bournemouth players will be absolutely putting everything into keeping a clean sheet now. Surely you don't need to. We don't need to score. Just stop them from scoring, which is easier said than done. But they've done really well for 80 minutes. They just need to keep. They just need to keep going. Yeah, to be fair, Ethan, he's caught a few actually. He's caught a few crosses, which has been pleasing to see. Oh, I mentioned. Yeah, exactly. Um, exactly, Sean. Sorry, I mentioned changes. Johnny Evans has come on for Luke Shaw, and Marcus Rashford has come on for Garnacho, and Pelistri has come on for Anthony. A triple change for Man United, including Johnny Evans coming on for Luke Shaw, which seems odd, but basically, like Rafa Varane is on your bench. Why are you bringing on Johnny Evans? Zabani dealing nicely with Hoyland. Sinistera gets jinxed past by Region, but he keeps working, and Evans is on the ball. Cook with a nice interception, looking for anyone running beyond. But instead, just keeps going, tries to outpace Rashford, but in the end, he gets tackled and brings him down. It's good work from Cook there. I'm not sure Sammy wants to keep a clean sheet. Cook continues to work really hard. Oh, he looks shattered. Cook looks absolutely shattered. Rashford runs into the middle of the box, and oh, that's got to be a foul. Fernandez just kicks into Smith there, who goes down and will waste another 20 seconds. If you can lip read Smith, he's not pleased with Fernandez. Yep, absolutely, Lee. That's a classic one. And then Fernandez just stands on Smith's toe there. Yeah, Johnny Evans, I know. I can't believe they re-signed him, but they did. And he has, to be fair, he's produced some performances for them. He just hasn't played that much. Oh, Bruno Fernandez has just talked his way into a yellow card, and he'll be suspended for their next game. And Man United's next game is against Liverpool. Ooh. Anyway, who cares about that? I don't even care what Bournemouth's game is at the moment. Next game is. I just care about this. For those of you interested, it's at home to Luton, Bournemouth's next game. I've just checked. I don't tend to look more than one game in the future. Throw from Adam Smith. Dominic Solanke does really well to keep the ball, and it ends up going backwards before getting launched forwards. Sinister is chasing but doesn't win it. But Billing does, and Billing goes past Maguire. There's three in the box. It's a decent ball, and Solanke tries to backheel flick it. He should have left it. It was falling to Tavernier at the back post, most likely. But we almost scored a fourth. Now there's a long ball forward. Rashford in behind, but Smith and Zabani are on top of him. Zabani moves him, pushes him over, and that's never going to be a penalty. It is a little bit risky from Zabani because he's not focused on the ball. He's just focused on the man, but that's never going to be given as a penalty in a million years. Billing with an awkward ball that just about works out with Dallo sliding in to beat Tavernier to it, who I think Tavernier should be coming off any moment now. He needs a rest. Dallo on the right-hand side, trying to go past Kirkes, who gets a block in, and it's another Man United corner. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United are in the double digits in corners now. Wouldn't surprise me in the slightest, Germany, if we lose to Luton after this. But yeah, good work from Zabani. It's an interesting one. It just another ref might have given that a bit differently, but I really don't think that should have been given as a penalty any day of the week. But mind you, as Ethan mentioned, we don't even know what a penalty is at the moment. Oh God, I'm scared there. Corner played low to the front post. Palistri flicks it on, and I think it just comes off Sinistera or Solanke ends up going for another corner. Man United are definitely in the double digits of corners now. Another corner from the right-hand side, swung in and claimed by Neto. Really easy take. He didn't even go down. It was just a nice, easy come, take it, claim it, and take the pressure off. 86 minutes on the clock now. 4 minutes of regular time to go, plus any stoppages. I'd imagine there'll be at least 5, what with all the subs and the few goals. Great work again from Lewis Cook, who tries to play it into Solanke, who's going to be offside. The flag's up for offside, but the referee's play on. That was awkward from Onana there, but they played on. Amrabat's now on the ball, passing it forward to McTominay. Great tackle by Christie on Palistri, and then he ends up hitting it off him again, and Kirkes wins us a throw. This backline performance from the goalkeeper, all 4 defenders, all of the midfielders, the hard work from Solanke. This has been such an impressive performance. Such an impressive performance. I would be gutted if they don't keep a clean sheet. I would be a lot more gutted if we lose or don't win. But just for the hard work that's been put in here, I'd be gutted if we lose the clean sheet. It would just be Sheffield United all over again, annoyingly, but they don't have McBurney to header in at the back post. 2 changes. Tavernier coming off for Dango, and Lewis Cook, who has absolutely run himself to exhaustion, has come off for Rothwell. Rothwell, please make sure you keep an eye on your man. Rothwell has almost cost us goals in very short periods. He's come on in this season already by just not focusing on his men. It was against Burnley, actually. It was against Burnley. He didn't follow his man, and we almost conceded. That was the inch offside goal from Rodriguez that I put down largely to Rothwell not following Redmond. So he needs to just stay on his men and keep an eye on all the Manchester players that are going to be flooding forward. No, we'll take all the points this month. It's only Spurs. Well, the way they're going at the moment, anyway. Spurs Newcastle should be a fun game on tomorrow. I won't be able to watch it, but it should be a fun game. Oh, Maguire with an awkward pass to Dallo there. Dango almost nicks it. Ball ends up back with Onana. There is a minute and a half of normal time to go. Long ball by Onana. Fernandez flicks it onto Rashford, but Smith whacks it into Rosette. Nice work there from Luis Sinistera, but he almost gets tackled by Billing. Sinistera then tries to nutmeg Reguilon and does lose it. Ball played in behind by Fernandez, but it's over the top of Palistri. Now we're at 1 minute left of normal time. I'm sure the Bournemouth fans gave him an ovation. They must have done. Hin and Tavernier. Surely they will have done. The only fans you're going to hear are the Bournemouth fans. Lewis Cook with an assist, of course, setting us off in this journey. And in fact, it's been... No, Tavernier's got 2 assists. I was just thinking it's been a different player in each position, but it's not. It's Tavernier assisted the second and the third, with Billing scoring the second, Senesi with the third, and obviously Solanke with the first. Fernandez has just kicked Smith in the back, and he's gone down with a big roar. And Fernandez is on a yellow. The ref isn't going to give it. Isn't going to give a yellow. He's given a foul. But this would be interesting to look at again. Fernandez has just kicked Smith in the back. I'm amazed he's not got a second yellow for that. Oh, I was bang on, by the way. 5 minutes of added time. Well, Sean, you say squad rotation. There's only been 1 change in the starting lineups across these four matches. 5, 4, 5. Sinistera coming in for Tavernier in the last game, and that swapped around again. Admittedly, he's made good substitutions. His substitutions have clearly worked. You've only got to look at last game, and then obviously Billing's been involved in the goal in this one. I think his substitutions have been great. Um, no, it came off his hip. Came off his hip, definitely. Ah, there you go. Correction. Yes, subs. I think his subs have been great. Some really good work there defensively. Massive kick upfield from Neto. And Christie trying a 1-2 with Billing, but it doesn't work. Amrabat's going the wrong way. Oh, he almost gives it to a Bournemouth player, but he doesn't quite. And now it's into Dango Watara. Dango around the goalkeeper, and then it's a goal! It's 4-0! 4-0! Dango Watara with his first goal of the season. Definitely not offside. That is, correct me if I'm wrong, in the chat now, yes or no, is this the greatest result, not performance, not game, the greatest result in AFC Bournemouth's Premier League history? Not Football League, not in the Championship, not us beating Bolton 3-0, not us beating Bolton 3-0 to get promoted, not anything in League One to get us promoted. In the Premier League, is this the greatest result, the greatest scoreline in AFC Bournemouth's history? We've got a few to contend with. 4-0 at home to Chelsea, 3-0 away to Chelsea, 6-1 at home to Hull, in terms of just biggest wins. Is this, in the chat, agree with me or not? If you think it's no, tell me what you think it is. Is this the greatest result in AFC Bournemouth's history, in Premier League history? Because I would say yes. Absolutely. Yep, 4-0. Yeah, I caught that, Ethan, but I wasn't sure whether you were talking about a goal or not until obviously it happened. Oh, it might be ruled out. Oh my word, it's going to be ruled out. Oh, it's been ruled out. Dango handled it as he was falling over. That's so unfortunate. That's so unfortunate. It's still up there. It's still 3-0 is definitely up there. It is only 3-0, unfortunately. Maybe the 4-0 Chelsea is still probably top. Maybe the 4-0 Chelsea is probably top now. Having that goal taken off might take it off a little bit. And as well as you was it with the 4-0 and the 3-0s? I'd have to look back. At least one of those got results against Chelsea, the 4-0 and 3-0. At least one of those, they were the Premier League champions at the time. So maybe it's going to be one of those. Whichever ones it was when we won and they were Premier League champions, you'd probably have to say that's the one. That's probably the greatest result. Because if you beat the champions 3 or 4-0, then this is United. It's still Man. This is still Man United we're talking about, but it's not the Man United of old. It's Sean. It's not about that. It's just that it hits his hand. His hand is away from his body, and he gives a decent. He's flailing, but he catches it and it puts it right in line for him to be able to take the shot. It's definitely the correct decision. Absolutely, Sean. Still 100% one of the greatest ever results for this club, no doubt. The fact that it's away from home as well. This is the big thing, that it's at Old Trafford. We've gone to Old Trafford and we've not given Man United a sniff. They have had one decent shot. One. They've been that close to creating another one, but they haven't. Bournemouth got another chance here. Sinistera plays it into Solanke, who can't quite take it. He has to go backwards a bit. Goes to Christie. Lays it out to Dango, who's looking for the overlap, but no plays it back to Christie. And surely we just play it backwards and keep hold of the ball. But no, Rothwell pushing forward. Now Christie still on the ball, plays it wide to Kirkes, to Christie. Still on it. Christie's had another great game. Now Zabani on the ball. Back to Senesi. We're not really looking to go forward anymore. That's poor from Senesi. And now Senesi really just needs to hack Hoyland down here. But he holds him up. Hoyland now in just level with the box on the right-hand side. Back heel to Region, to Dallo rather. Amazing tackle by Ryan Christie. Brilliant tackle by Ryan Christie. Takes the ball, takes the man. Wonderful. And there is the final whistle. AFC Bournemouth have gone to the Theatre of Dreams, to the home ground of the greatest team in English football history in terms of league titles. But they're not that anymore. They just lost 3-0. Oh my God, that is so amazing. Oh my God. 3-0. 3 flipping nil. Absolutely, Germany. These are the days you dream of as a football fan. And there is nothing like that. There really isn't. Shame I wasn't there, but I was here with you guys, and I hope you enjoyed. But we will just have a little review of the game. We'll just have a little bit of a review once I have gone to the loo, because I'm desperate for the loo. So let's let's do a pause. I'm going to quickly pop to the loo, and then we'll just do a brief review. We'll stew in the juices of our victory. Pause. And I'll be back in a moment. Right. I'm not going to keep us too much longer because we all want to just enjoy the rest of our evenings now because none of us are coming down from the ceiling today. None of us are coming down from the ceiling after that because, oh my word, what a result. What a result. Oh boy, absolutely amazing. 3-0. 3-0. Holy moly. It's difficult to take that in. It really is difficult to just absorb that result. But wow, we really did just do that. We really, really did just do that. Oh, wow. If you're winning against United before going to Crystal Palace, well, you get to absolutely dance around the ceiling after that one, going to the party. GG, yeah, good game. Cheers, Flip. Let's have a look. So yes, so here we go. Sean, still one of the greatest results, absolutely. Only, yeah. We've spoiled. Oh, Sheffield United won as well. We'll get to the results later down. John, well done, Bournemouth. It was 3-0 in the end, Wayne, unfortunately. But yeah. Yeah, there you go, corrected. But yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for that. So there's the thing about directly. Yeah, exactly. If it comes off the hand anywhere near unnatural position and it's the goal scorer, then it's definitely ruled out. If weirdly enough, if Dango had passed that instead, the goal would have been given. Because you can't, because it's a rule like if you're not the one that directly scores the goal, then you can get away with it. Something like that. Anyway, it's really unfortunate for Dango there. It was another good press. It was another goal that would have come from a high press. Oh dear, never mind. Missed most of the second half due to the stream falling over, but hey, yeah. Well, as long as this stream stayed up, then, and you were able to hear me waxing lyrical about us and ripping into ripping into what's his face, Goldbridge. Oh, you said the team has come together. Absolutely, it has. Absolutely. Mark, hello, Mark. Watch the Zone of you on my TV channel. Ah, brilliant. Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks for sticking with us. Yeah, enjoy the party. I'm going to go out and make a party wherever it is. Absolutely, we'll turn the north red and black. I suppose before we go, let's just have a look at those stats and, in fact, at the fixtures and what happened in the rest of these games. So, as was brought up, Sheffield United beat Brentford 1-0. Burnley managed to nick a point away at Brighton. I say nick a point, they won 1-0 in front, so they could have held on. Nottingham Forest also only got a point, which means, with Crystal Palace losing and us winning, drum roll please, before I bring up the table. AFC Bournemouth are 13th. We've gone up 3 places, which puts us level on points with Wolves. It puts us level on points with Brentford. It puts on level on points with Chelsea. We are goal difference away from the top half of the table. Gone above Fulham, above Palace, obviously, and obviously above Forest. What a turnaround this is for AFC Bournemouth. But we knew it had a chance. Let me not try and say I always just knew this was going to happen. I questioned Iraola, and I will fully admit that I had concerns on the back of the 4-0 loss at home to Arsenal and the 3-0 loss away to Everton. I said if he doesn't start picking up results, there needs to be questions asked about his position. You can go back and have a look. I never said I wanted him out. I said that questions will definitely be asked if he does not start getting results in games that he should be getting results from. Because we looked at Everton and said, this is the first game we've got a chance at getting a result from it. And to be fair, you look at Everton and they would be 10th in the table if it wasn't for their points deduction. So Everton are better than we thought they would be. But then we beat Burnley. We come from behind to beat Burnley. We end up then beating... we end up losing to Man City. And I still think, by the way, that loss against Man City, that 6-1 loss, that was the best we've ever played against Man City away from home. I honestly believe that, and it was our worst defeat ever against Man City. But we lose to Liverpool in the Cup. It's whatever. It was a decent performance. We lose. It's one of those things. We lose to Man City, and then we beat a beleaguered Newcastle. We destroy Sheffield United 3-1. We were unlucky not to beat Aston Villa. We definitely beat and deserved. We definitely beat. We deserved to beat Crystal Palace. We absolutely deserved to beat Manchester United today. And in the last 6 games, well, not much has changed in terms of the last 6 games, but in terms of the last 5 games, 4 wins, 1 draw. And we have played Newcastle at home, who are in the Champions League. We have beat Sheffield United away in a game they desperately needed to get something from. We have drawn with Aston Villa, who went on to beat Man City. We have beaten Crystal Palace, who, okay, are beleaguered, but it's a place we've done terribly at since being in the Premier League. And we've just gone and got our first win ever against Man United at Old Trafford. You cannot get any better as a Bournemouth fan. It just cannot get any better than that. It cannot. Oh, my word. Let's just have a look at some more chat. Kirk, thanks for joining us again with a comment. What a win. What a team. Andoni Iraola is a history maker. It was definitely the theatre of dreams for us, Lee. Absolutely. With all the other scores, yeah, absolutely. But we're now first in the form. Over 5 games, definitely. Over 6 games, I'm not so sure. Let me check. Form table. We're not top of the form table. AFC Bournemouth, Germany. Liverpool are top of the form table. Form table is generally 6 games. If it was 5 games, we'd be joint top with Liverpool. I think. Probably. Yes, if it was 5 games, we'd be joint top with Liverpool. We're joint top of the form table over 5 games. Joint top with Liverpool. Sorry, there you go. You said 5 games. There's me not even clicking your next living comment. 12-3 goals scored. Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be close with Liverpool. Oh, we've got a better goal difference than Liverpool over that. Okay, fair enough. There you go. +9 goal difference over the last 5 games. And it's a shame because if you look at the 6-game one, it looks so much worse because we lost that one 6-1. So that 9 goal difference shoots down to +3. Oh, thank you, John. I appreciate it for sticking around and keeping me as your main commentary. Ben, we've been decent-ish since Chelsea. Just had a few shite moments, which are debating whether to say that word in my out loud. To be fair, I have sworn on here before. Which we're now rubbing out. I'm pause. Now there's me with my childish brain. We're now rubbing out those results. I'm so confident it's crazy. Better goal difference. Okay, yeah. Iraola out. Yeah, out for a party, Steve. That's where he's going. He's going out to get absolutely lathered on Paella and Stella. No, Stella, Stella, whatever. I don't like that chart anyway. Estrella, whatever. Who cares? They all need to get on the piss tonight. In terms of Bournemouth's fixtures coming up, thankfully we have a week to digest that. The lads can have a day off tomorrow. I'm fairly certain the lads are going to get a day off tomorrow. I'm they just might get a day off tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe we need to start a poll. See if we can get a poll. I tell you what, Donna, this keeps going. Iraola's not going to be at Bournemouth very long, and that sucks. I hate that. Eddie Howe did a really good job with us, but because he was less. I think it's because he's English. He just was less fashionable. He's less likely to be picked. The fact that he's Spanish and has a better playing history means he's far more likely to get a job like the next United manager. I don't think he'd jump all the way to United. I don't think he's got a chance of doing that. But we haven't sacked him. I mean, we technically sacked O'Neill. So the disallowed handball 4-0 goal should have been a penalty. I'd need to look back. I'm wondering because I don't think so, Steve. Personally, I understand where you're coming from, but yeah, I'd have to look at it back. I personally don't think it would be. Goldbridge, yeah, of course he is. Ten Hag's a decent manager, but he's not. I don't think he's got enough in him to work it at that club. Although the same way, Man United behind the scenes is an absolute shit show. No manager's going to succeed at that club at the moment. Sack someone else's manager. Yeah, but if Onana gets the ball, then there's a certain leeway that you can allow for contact. And he clearly doesn't completely take him out because he stays on his feet. If he'd gone flying over face first and properly let himself get taken out by Onana, then they may have looked at it properly. But because he stayed on his feet, they just didn't. But I see where you're coming from, Steve. I absolutely see where you're coming from. I just think that because of the way that he stays up, it's not going to happen. And anyway, what's a penalty? You've mentioned this thing called a penalty, Steve. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what that is. Right, before we go, I suppose we might as well have a look at the stats and see sort of how, quote unquote, deserving were Bournemouth off this win. And I'm looking forward to seeing the momentum graph on here. Yeah, that's a hell of a momentum graph. Right here, just look at Man United just having all of the first 20 minutes of the second half. It was all United, which is why when it starts looking like things are starting to peter out a bit in terms of Man United's dominance, and there's me going, I don't know, I'm not so sure that Bournemouth are going to get anything from this game, as in I don't think they're going to win it. And then a really good goal, Billing scores, things stay relatively even. Then Senesi scores from the header from the corner. And then it's relatively even, and Bournemouth even have other really good chances to score. So, yeah, it's just fantastic. Looking at the statistics, relatively even on XG. But if you look at shots, total shots 20 compared to Bournemouth 10. And Bournemouth have a 0.14 per shot expected goals. Man United have a 0.06 per shot expected goals. That's shocking. They just didn't create a decent chance all game. The only save that Neto had to make was the Maguire header that was looping, and if it was anywhere toward the back post, Neto would have struggled. But the fact that it was down the middle of the goal meant that Neto just tipped it over. That was the only shot they made. That was the only shot that forced Neto to make any decent save. We blocked 12 shots. We blocked 12 shots. And we had 4 shots on target. I think the fourth shot of those 4 is the one that was the one taken by Ouattara that ended up sort of bouncing off him and falling back into his path that then got given up for offside for handball. Just so clinical. Bournemouth have got this clinical edge at the moment. It's so encouraging to see. So encouraging to see how clinical Bournemouth are, because that's not what Bournemouth have been. Occasionally under O'Neill, we basically scored the only 1 or 2 chances we made in a match. That was the closest we've come to being a clinical side. But you see, against Crystal Palace, really clinical. In this game, really clinical. When the chance was made, we generally put it away. And the fact that we scored 3 of our 4 shots on target is a really, really encouraging statistic. Look at that possession as well. I can't believe it's 69. Oh, nice. But I can't believe we had 31% of the possession. It was like 75 to Man United for so long. And then right towards just after we scored the second goal, we then made the game so much more even and started to really get a foothold. 10-4 in corners. Only one yellow card. Man United just kept talking themselves into the book. Free kicks, throws, goal kicks. 3 big chances, 1 missed, which might be Dango's chance. I'll have to have a look. Hit the woodwork. 4 counterattacks, 3 counterattack shots, 1 counterattack goal. Just, And look at Neto had to make 1 save. Sorry, Onana made 1 save. Neto made 3. 3 saves. 2 of them were P rollers. No, 1 of them was a P roller. 1 of them was a header straight into right in front of him, and the other one was the one he tipped over from Maguire. That's it. United didn't make anything. United looked like they might make something, but they never did. The defensive performance was so good from these players. So good. Oh, they deserve medals. They all deserve medals. 30 clearances. 30. Not the other 14 stats are going to look very good for Senesi and Zabani in terms of tackles, interceptions, and clearances for the whole team. Oh my word. Not standings. We've already looked at standings. Let me just have a look and see what some of these XG ones were. So there's the billing goal, 0.32. Oh, there's this random advertisement here. Senesi's was 0.11, which they counted as a big chance. They must have done. That's 0.03, 0.07, 0.4. Oh, that was Solanke's attempted overhead kick, kind of back heel flick in the air. The one I think Sinistera ended up going behind, and there were 4 players in the box compared to 2 or 3 of United, and Solanke tried a flick that was unsuccessful, and he should have let it go to someone else. And then we took 1 shot from range, which was Tavernier's ridiculous one that went flying over the bar. But does Dango not count as a shot? No, Dango didn't get a shot technically. I think they treated it as he was trying to chip it over the keeper, so he didn't actually get that. Didn't go down as a shot for him. No, should we? Yeah, absolutely. Can't wait for the vlogs from Kirk. Tom will be off his face. You've seen those moments in games where Tom is quite clearly really drunk, where his eyes look vacant, but he's just falling in joy into the arms of Sam and others. Tom's going to be off his face. He is going to be so pissed, in a good way. Even actually way behind on shots, we're clearly just firing from. Yeah, exactly. And being blocked. Bournemouth blocked 12 of 20 times by 5. 60% of Man United shots were blocked. 60% of Man United shots were blocked. That's how good our defensive performance was. Hello, Phoenix. Nice to provide a little hello at the end there. Surely one of our best results ever. I said that. That was when the 4th went in. That was before it was disallowed. I think the 4-0 would have been the greatest result in Bournemouth's history. I still think this 3-0 is up there, and the fact that it's away from home. But I would say that the 3 and 4-0 wins we had against Chelsea, at least one of those was against Chelsea when they were champions, which kind of maybe tips that slightly over the edge to me. But this is in top 3 easily of Bournemouth's greatest ever results. And it is very easy to make the case that this is the greatest result in the club's history. Premier League history. You'd probably look back to the time we beat United at home in the Cup back in over 30 years ago. But yeah, it's absolutely up there. Right, okay. We're all just still floating after this result, but I think it's about time that I call an end to this stream and we all just get bladdered and just float through the rest of the evening. Not that I'm encouraging. I am not encouraging drinking to excess, but I am encouraging celebrating. Anyway, it's about time we move on, and we all enjoy the rest of our evening. Oh, that has been amazing. That has been absolutely amazing to be a part of. Thank you so much to everyone that joined me. The numbers were not as big as I expected them to be for such a big game. I'd imagine most people were maybe looking at other Man United streams. I don't know. I don't care. All of you that stuck with me, thank you so much for joining along. Those of you that just listened to me, those of you that watched me, those of you that put me on your main TV for whatever reason, treated me as your main commentary. I'm glad you appreciate my perspective and my input. But I think we all just had a great time today. And that was amazing. So please do hit the like button, because surely you like that game. And if you're still here, you must have liked this commentary to some extent. So please do make sure you hit that like button. Hit it now. It's the thumbs up. Just hit it now. And subscribe if you haven't already. You probably are. But yeah, it's what a day. What a day. What a weekend we're gonna have now. But that's it. That's enough from me. That's enough from us all. Please do, as I said, like, subscribe, and just enjoy your evening. We're done. We're out. Please watch our review on Monday. We'll be talking about it then when Cherries in review. But until then, have a smashing rest of your day. Up the Cherries. Come on, you Reds.